Welcome everyone. So today we will start from question number 7. Last time we discussed till question number 6. So question number 7 is, why is ice at 273 Kelvin more effective in cooling than water at the same temperature? So if you remember that we discussed one activity which is based on latent heat of fusion and latent heat of vaporization. In this question the keyword is latent heat of fusion. First let us recall that activity. In that activity we discussed that when we start providing heat energy to ice, then ice it starts converting into water. But at this conversion, that means during this conversion from ice to water, temperature it is constant, temperature is not increasing at all, still we keep on providing heat energy. So where this heat energy is going when the temperature is not increasing? This heat energy it is getting absorbed by ice, so that the change can take place from ice to water, so that ice can convert into water, which means that this heat energy it is getting utilized to overcome the force of attraction. Now it is observed that this heat energy which we are providing, and but the temperature is not increasing, it is observed that it is getting hidden somewhere in the content of the beaker, and that is why it is said to be latent heat. For the term hidden, the term latent heat is given. And as this process from conversion of ice to water, this process is said to be fusion. That is why this completely it is said to be latent heat of fusion. So here actually what happens, as you can see, when temperature is given 273 Kelvin, which is 0 degrees Celsius. So here ice is also at 0 degrees Celsius and water is also at 0 degrees Celsius. But still it is observed that ice it is providing more cooling effect, or ice is more effective in cooling than water at the same temperature. It is because when ice is converted into water, then ice absorbs energy which is equal to latent heat of fusion. So water it is having additional energy equal to latent heat of fusion, which ice is not having. So ice is having less energy than water equal to latent heat of fusion, and that is why ice is more effective in cooling than water at the same temperature. Now question number 8, what produces more severe burns, boiling water or steam? So this question it is based on latent heat of vaporization. This latent heat of vaporization it is also discussed in the same activity. So what happens when ice it completely gets converted into water, then temperature will start rising. Once the temperature will reach at 100 degrees Celsius, their water will start converting into steam. Now at this temperature also 100 degrees Celsius, where water is converting into steam, where change in process is taking place, this temperature it also becomes constant. So what happens here, at this temperature still we continue providing heat energy, but temperature remains constant. So where this heat energy is going, this heat energy is also getting utilized by water, so that change in state can take place. That means this heat energy it is used, or it is utilized to overcome the force of attraction. Now it is observed that this heat energy it is getting hidden somewhere in the content of beaker, and that is why it is termed as latent heat. And as this process of conversion from water to steam it is said to be vaporization, so it is said to be latent heat of vaporization. Now here this question is saying that if boiling water and steam, if they both are at the same temperature of 373 Kelvin or 100 degrees Celsius, then still why steam it causes more severe burn than water at the same temperature? It is because steam is having additional energy in the form of latent heat of vaporization, which water is not having. Actually what happens, water it absorbs energy which is equal to latent heat of vaporization, then only it is converting into steam. So steam it is having this additional energy equal to latent heat of vaporization, and that is why it causes more severe burn than water at the same temperature. Now question number 9, this question is very easy. Name A, B, C, D, E and F in the following diagram showing change in its state. So as you can see that one diagram is given below this question, and some alphabets is given which is showing the change in state from solid to liquid and liquid to gas and vice versa. And so here what happens, we have to name these processes. So from solid to liquid it is marked as A, so A is melting. From liquid to gas it is marked as B, so it is boiling. From gas to liquid it is marked as C, it is condensation. Liquid to solid it is marked as D, so D is freezing. Then solid to gas it is marked as E, it is sublimation. And gas to solid it is marked as F, so it is deposition according to NCERT. And somewhere in the book you can, in the other books, in your side book, you can also find that this process from the conversion of gas to solid, it is also somewhere termed as sublimation. So both are correct, deposition as well as sublimation, they both are correct. So this is about your all the exercise questions. So your chapter is completely finished now with all the questions and everything else and all the discussions. Now you have to complete all these questions, you have to write it in your peer notebook. You complete it fast, and then we will start revision of this chapter, and we will also I will also give you notes at the same time. Thank you.